A short week for the Philadelphia Eagles, where Monday you had practice, and then Tuesday, Wednesday are walkthrough days. We're going to be going over the injuries, who's playing, who's not playing, Vic Fangio's press conference. We heard from Kevin Patulo, and we heard from some of the other players as well and their stance on what's going to be changing for this week and the rest of the season, of the regular season. So let's get straight into it.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope it's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone is doing well right now. A lot to discuss regarding the Philadelphia Eagles on a very short week, Thursday night game. This is a statement game for the Eagles. This is a game that's going to prove that we're hopefully going to be on the right track, that things are going to get fixed. And, so there's a lot to go over here. So let's get into it right now. Now, to kind of go over the injury report for Tuesday for the Philadelphia Eagles on October 7th, it looks like Grant Calcaterra and Landon Dickerson did not practice. Saquon Barkley, knee injury, light practice. Jahad Campbell, biceps, light practice. Byron Young, triceps, light practice. Nakobe Dean, knee, full practice. Now, obviously, we're going to get into some things. I think the biggest scare that we had this week that we were kind of a little worried about was Saquon Barkley. He got, nicked in that Broncos game. Looked like he stumbled a little bit. Looked like he was a little bit hurt with a knee injury. He didn't practice the first day of practice, I think, on Monday or whatever they did. Kind of kept him out. And I don't even know if Saquon Barkley's fully healthy for this game on Thursday. And obviously the Eagles do need him against his rival team for the second season, for the second time. And we're going to see what he could do. Obviously, this run game has been affected mostly not only by Kevin Patulo, but by this offensive line. Execution has been really bad, and guys not being 100% healthy have really affected the run game, which a lot of film has been gone over, especially by Seth Joyner. I've watched some things, and yeah, the offensive line is getting pushed back 1 to 2 yards off the ball, and Barkley has nowhere to go, and hopefully that could change Thursday night. Now, we got news on Landon Dickerson filing that he could be missing multiple weeks. I mean, it could be 1 to 2 weeks. We need to relax, and we need to just let him rest till the bye week. Not even kidding. They need to rest him for as long as possible, because you bring him back too early, he's just going to get hurt in another 1 to 2 games, and he's going to be stumbling, and to the point where we're never going to have him at full health. And if it's playoff time, he ain't going to last through it, and that's really unfortunate. So if my plan was to keep Landon Dickerson out longer than 2 weeks, that's the rate I would kind of go at this point. With the ankle injury, it's not his meniscus, it's not a shoulder, it's not, now it's an ankle, and it's just going to get worse. So keep him out as long as possible. If they have to throw Brett Toth into the mix, then that's, I guess, what they're going to do, and that's where we are. Now, to jump into some of the big ones for the week, and obviously this involved Vic Fangio's press conference on what's going on here, and we're talking about Nakobe Dean, since he had another full practice the other day, and it looks like Dean is on pace to play in this game tomorrow night. Fangio says that he won't have a full-time role, and that makes sense. So they're going to throw him in for a couple plays. I'm guessing the snap count is going to be really low for him. It's almost like DeJean being hurt in the offseason program last year, and then, through 5 games, he was, his reps were getting increasing, and then by that 5th game, he was a full-time starter. So it took DeJean time to get back into become a full-time participant in the defense, and I think that's going to be the same way with Nakobe Dean. The only issue I have, which I think all of us Eagle fans are wondering, is what are they going to do? Who are they going to move if Dean takes that role? Do they feel comfortable with him taking the full-time role at linebacker once he is ready? I mean, you just paid Bond some money this year, so you don't want to get rid of him and move him around too much. You really need him at the linebacker spot. And Jahad Campbell, I mean, he's got experience as an edge rusher, can rush on the line, and I wonder if that's going to be the direction that they go with him. I'm not really sure, but it's just a lot of bodies that you have. Not a bad thing. It can only make your defense a lot better, and if Jahad Campbell could start to practice his rush. The one thing I've noticed is that Fangio doesn't like to put a full plate on rookies, okay? And if he feels like he can handle both roles and Campbell could move somewhere else and they can kind of expand him in this defense a little bit, then that wouldn't be a bad thing. God knows edge rusher is a huge problem right now. Now, Vic Fangio was asked about the CB2 position for another week, and Kelee Ringo will start at the CB2 spot, and he said possibly. And honestly, guys, I thought Ringo played his best game the other day against the Broncos. He gave up one sideline pass, not the one on the far right. He gave up like a short little chunk yard sideline pass when the Eagles defensive line wasn't getting enough pressure. But other than that, and then in the fourth quarter where Quinyon gave up one, Ringo gave up one, where really our defense was gassed. We were falling apart. I thought he played really solid. This is the first time we're really seeing with our eyes that Kelee Ringo is starting multiple weeks. He's practicing with the first team all week as a CB2, and he's getting the practice work in to get prepared for the game. And I think it's really starting to show, and he's playing with a lot of momentum. He's playing with a lot of concentration. He's playing with a lot of energy, and I really do like it. Fangio did talk about Quinyon Mitchell will continue to shadow the number one guy. They're never going to feel comfortable Ringo just going, towards the number one receiver and covering him. So it looks like Quinyon will still be traveling and shadowing as usual. Now, here's an important one from Vic Fangio, because somebody asked about not getting to the quarterback enough. I mean, we got 5 sacks in 5 games, I think. I think that's the number we have of sacks we have right now, and obviously we're just not getting there. But Vic Fangio says that obviously the production of the sack numbers are what they are. I do think the ball is coming out fairly quick a lot. I think the sack numbers, when you eliminate the big games that some teams have, are down overall in the last few years. The guys have been rushing good enough. We just haven't gotten there. And yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's enough. I mean, I don't think Uche is doing that much. Jalix Hunt has been a huge disappointment, and the DTs can't do it all by themselves. I mean, I didn't think that Jalen Carter had a really bad game. I thought he actually had a pretty good game. Jordan Davis, I don't know what happened with him, but when your edge rushers are not producing, your DTs are going to get doubled. I saw Jalen Carter get triple teamed on the play at some point, from the center to the guard to the tackle, like all of them, like at least hit him to stop him from going anywhere. So I think that's been a really big problem. And Zadarius Smith can't do it all by himself. And you saw the Ravens, they just traded one of their edge rushers away to the Chargers. I mean, and Howie Roseman is not going out there and making any type of big deals right now. And that's kind of scary. Maybe Fangio wants to wait a little bit longer. I mean, you only got a few more weeks, unless there's a free agent out there. I know that Yannick Ngakoue is still available. He had a tweet that came out. I know we've been talking about Yannick Ngakoue the last few years, but there's somebody out there if you don't want to give up big trade compensation, big draft compensation for somebody. I know that Travon Walker's hurt right now, I think. So it limits you from what you could do out there, but I don't know if getting an edge rusher is going to solve all your problems, but, because I think offensively is the reason why our defense is gasping for air, and this defense cannot bail you out late in these games. And I think that's a big problem. So we'll see on the trade front what happens in a few weeks, if there's any rumblings of anything that's going on, or if the Eagles do have a target. But yeah, the pass rush has to be there. I've seen way too many snaps where, these quarterbacks are holding on to the ball too long. There are times where they're throwing fast, and I get that, but there are times where they're holding on to the ball for way too long. The Eagles just can't rush as a unit. They can't close the pocket down, and the outside is very weak, because anything ran to the outside, whether it's a quarterback sneak or a scramble or a run to the outside, an end around to the outside, a screen to the outside, the Eagles realistically can't stop it. And we're going to put a lot on our linebackers to make those open field tackles, those big plays, and to our inside corner as well if they have to do that. So that's where we are with that. Now we're going to talk about the sponsor of this video, ProfitX. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of a sports book versus the house. You will almost always get the best price on any spread, money line, total, and player props, since you're playing against other people rather than the book. Every touchdown, every moment creates a live market you control. Buy in when you're confident, cash out when the momentum flips. It's like trading stocks, but for sports. Profit Exchange runs over 40 states, and you must be at legal age to do so. This isn't your old sports book. This is the #1 sports book. The action moves fast, and so can you. Real-time, player-driven, and built for fans who see the game before it happens. So let's dive into the ProfitX market on the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, the Eagles are sitting at plus 700 to win the Super Bowl. And yes, we're talking about this after one game. So the real question is, do you believe in Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, and this revamped defense enough to go all in at plus 700 and stay right there? Or do I go a little bit further than that? I think I'm going to stay, and I think I'm going to let the #1 sports book and ProfitX take care of the rest for me to help me make the better decision. Use promo code SHAKE72. You can get up to $200 cash back over your first 30 days. Every play you make, ProfitX gives you money back for playing on their platform, up to $200. Link in the description. Make sure you go to your app store and download the ProfitX app and use that promo code SHAKES72. I want to thank ProfitX for sponsoring this piece of content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Go Birds. And then we heard from Kevin Patulo in his press conference on a couple things, okay? The first thing that was said about, getting prepared this week because it is a short week, and Kevin Patullo has not been through this as an offensive coordinator yet, and says that the Eagles coaching staff worked all night last night with the short week. If we got 2 to 3 hours of sleep, it was a good night. Yeah, we'll see how that's going to go. I mean, you can't even prepare when you have a normal week of practice and prepare all week. You got less time to prepare for the New York Giants, and I'm expecting things to get better, and it's really hard for me to concentrate on that where, this game plan has been an absolute disaster. Kevin Patulo also said that we've done a good job. We just got to keep progressing and working through this. Everybody into this. Everyone is super detailed. We just have to keep pushing because when you've done what we need to do, we've moved the ball extremely well at a high rate. You've moved the ball 3 good halves in one season so far. And other than that, that's it. The biggest issue right now is adjustments. And if your offensive line is somewhat hurt and, they're not 100% healthy, making those quote-unquote adjustments. I'm talking about adjustments in game. And obviously, Jalen Hurts needs to call some plays at the line, which that big, that touchdown to Saquon Barkley last week was a good play for him. But you have to make adjustments like at halftime, and defenses are going to adjust to you, and you sit still and do absolutely nothing. The short passing game has to be there. We can't recklessly throw deep and expect these easy plays to come. We have to work for those big plays. They have to find ways to get Barkley involved because I know your offensive line is getting pushed back a yard or two off the line, and I get that. There should be some short developed runs to the outside. Quick. Okay, nothing that takes forever on a handoff because by the time Barkley gets to the ball, it's already red and there's already a couple defenders kind of standing there. I've been really upset about this offensive coordinator, and on a short week, what can I really expect? I expect the team's going to play sloppy as soon as the game starts because, on a short week, who plays well on a short week? Not a lot of teams do, especially in the beginning of these Thursday night games. Now, there was a report from Jimmy Kemsky a couple days ago that Eagles star Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley had a private meeting today and spoke for a couple of hours, okay? There's been recent frustration, Brown, surrounding his lack of targets. So that bottom part is just bullshit because that's what everybody just wants to talk about, that it's just A.J. Brown, and it's not. So your 3 biggest players, okay, your 3 biggest players on the offense have met up, have talked about things. I'm guessing they just had a private meeting with each other, which was just said, but nothing that says that they went up to the coaching staff or anything like that. So I don't know what these talks consist of, but obviously just maintaining positivity through some of the adversity that they're going through and making sure that they're not going to lose themselves and not making sure they're not going to turn on each other during the season if things do get worse. I'm not trying to make this sound like a negative thing that they met up. I'm glad that there's dialogue because there's a lot of stupid rumors from John McMullen, some other ones that were coming out with news that Jalen Hurts wasn't talking to anybody since the regular season started. He's been more to himself, and those are some of the rumors that were coming out. I don't think that's true at all. It was a lie, probably. Are you surprised? Not only Hurts obviously talking to his teammates throughout the week about this team in general, but he did talk to his old coach from Alabama, Nick Saban, just about a topic of quote unquote winning the fourth quarter. So Jalen Hurts said, we had a conversation, caught up a little bit. It's always good to get good direction from him and hear his voice and his perspectives. It was almost like last year in 24 where, the team didn't look good, 2-2 going to the bye week. And Hurts was talking to Nick. Hurts was, talking to the defense. There was a lot of conversations going on in that week that things needed to change, and it really did help. But unfortunately, we don't have a bye week till week 9, week 10, whatever it is. We still have a few more weeks left. So we got to steamroll some of these teams this week, get to that bye week, and then hopefully by the time we come back off that bye week, then we're going to be starting to play the football that the Philadelphia Eagles should be playing. I like a quarterback in Jalen Hurts that's taking selfless advice from other people that have been very important, to his career, and that's a really good thing to have. We're going to go into some of the other outside news. It looks like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson did sign with the Baltimore Ravens to their practice squad from Tom Pelissero. This is his sixth team in 5 years. 6 teams in 5 years. It's kind of crazy. So he signs with the Ravens. He's probably going to start at some point, I'm guessing, just because I don't know if the safeties are hurt from the Ravens. I haven't been following them, but I know that injury report is very long for them. That's the news on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and where he's at with Baltimore. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, realistically, you had 1 day of practice and 2 fucking walkthroughs. On a short week, and Jackson Dart just started like a week or 2 ago. So, there's not much tape. There's not much to really go off of. And this is a statement game tomorrow night. This is, is there still air to breathe with this team? And are the Eagles going to keep taking the foot off these teams' necks and not making the adjustments they should be making? This offensive line needs to get better, and this offensive line is partially hurt, and you have guys missing. You need to make adjustments off of that with some quick handoffs to the outside. And the short passing game has to come back, and we need to work for those big plays, and these route concepts are goddamn horrible. So I don't care if Patulo was up all night, 2 to 3 hours. I hope he shows us Thursday, because if they lose Thursday, it's gonna, the season's not over, but damn, it's gonna be really bad. I'm gonna go off on Thursday if they don't win this game. I don't care if they win by a point, but it's still gonna be something trending in the right direction. And that's where I'm hoping we're going. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. And make sure you hit the like button, because it helps out tremendously. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys in the next one. Shakes what up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.